everyone, and Happy New Year.
Welcome to the first installment of our brand new show, Everything Wrong With.
And if you don't know who we are, I am Tabla Rosa, aka La Rosa Negra, or Black Rose if you're nasty.
And I am Draxx and Roza, your favorite tall friend and your Funko fanatic.
And together we make two parts of The
Complicated Duo.
Absolutely. Here to talk about
everything wrong with 2022.
Now, a major disclaimer before we begin. This is not a recap of the year. We're not historians.
No. This is just a few things that we want to talk about for 2022. Basically, what we like, what we don't like, perhaps better hope for this year.
Let's hope this year God has a better sense of humor, because last year someone didn't exactly make it to the doorstep.
Okay, but no. I really want to get into that. Like, before we can even jump into, even though this is technically 2021. I know this is everything wrong with 2021. This is technically, they did my girl Betty dirty. So for those who don't know, Betty White actually died 12/31/21 on New Year's Eve at the age of 99. She was getting ready for her 100th birthday, but she didn't make it. The way everyone found out was through like her agent, long-lost friend, Jeff Whitjazz. I think that's his name. He previously told People magazine that she died in her sleep, all peacefully. No, Miss Girl went out with a stroke, which I guess is one of the most peaceful ways to die.
Well, I mean, your brain shutting down in your sleep, because like a stroke is your brain struggling and like overheating like a computer. So I imagine if it's happening in your sleep, you don't know about it, so it's got to be relatively peaceful.
Oh my goodness!
I mean, more peaceful.
I guess, but like Miss Mamas would have been 100 ish had she lived on January 17th. But in my head, she still is living to be 101. Though, while most people have like a sad approach to death, Betty didn't. She actually got her approach to death from her mother, which states, we know we have to, it's more so stated that my mother had a wonderful approach to death. She always thought of it as something we don't know. We know what we managed to find out. Almost everything exists, but nobody knows what happens in that moment until it's over. So whenever we would lose somebody very close and very dear, she will always say, well, now they know the secret. You know, he knows the secret. Whoever died knows the secret. And it took the curse off of it somehow for her. It took the burden off of it being so, sad, boo-hoo, somebody died. So.
You know, the jury's still out on whether or not it's Zach Fox's fault she died, because I still blame Jesus is the one for
Why?
Betty White did get before when she died. That's a crazy opening to any song. Let's be very clear. I'm not saying I'm the ops. I'm just saying my eye is open. You see, I got this evil eye on. Y'all ain't finna get me.
Man, I'm already Jesus supposed to death. So I'd be like, oh, another one. DJ Cat, another one.
Ma'am. You
I really was trying to predict who was going to go out at the beginning of this year, which they still can go out because it's January. I need some attraction.
Huh? I beg your pardon? You said
no,
what?
I feel like the universe, they're going to take Forrest Whitaker if he ain't already did.
Maybe. Why are you trying to kill off Forrest Whitaker?
No, or what's the other one? The Morgan Freeman. I think it might be worth.
What the fuck is going on in here on this day?
You stop immediately.
Look, bruh, you never know what to expect. We didn't expect Betty.
Until you do right by me, everything you do shall crumble. How dare you leave Uncle Morgan alone?
Bruh, I'm not saying I want them to die. I'm just saying it's anticipated to a certain degree. Like,
that's fair.
Some things we kind of have to anticipate are going to happen. Some things we don't anticipate are necessarily going to happen. Like, honestly, one death, even though I should have anticipated it, but I didn't, that also occurred was Queen Elizabeth.
Lindsay got put on a pack.
I was ready.
You know, the Golden Girls might have got up there to the Golden Gates, but she ain't make it. Diana definitely said, hey, yo, let me get a hall pass real quick. You cannot tell me Diana did not step down and whoop her ass.
You're assuming they're in the, step down, yeah. So Queen Elizabeth, she actually died last year. She died at 96 on September 8th, 2022. Nobody liked Queen Elizabeth, but for a few reasons.
Well,
besides her people, like
no, not even just her people. For some reason, a lot of Americans, even like I'll say white Americans, romanticize the image of Lizzie. But like the Irish, all of the Caribbeans, and Black people worldwide, globally, was like, that bitch dead, y'all. That bitch dead.
And some of the reasons that I discovered that people don't like her, besides the obvious racism, was that Queen Elizabeth II's reign went through like the British. Yeah, we're gonna be British military. She like, when that was happening, it was a lot of mass murder and forced civilians going into concentration camps like the Mau Mau Rebellion. Princess Diana was obviously a reason, but my main beef that she had when it came down to Princess Diana was the fact that during the 1980s, the Queen tried to stop Princess Diana with her work in HIV advocacy, telling her to do something more pleasant with her time. Didn't advocate for people who have HIV, when all Princess Diana wanted to do was tackle the stigma and offer comforts to people who were scared, like, because at that time it was a terminal illness.
Diana was assassinated. I still stand by that. Everyone still says the jury's out. You cannot convince me someone who was actively going against the grain so heavily, and then not just going against the grain so heavily, going against the name so heavily in a royal company's name when everyone else is fucking up, so to say, and giving them a bad look. She was the distinct odd one out. If they can't silence the ugly duckling, they take the ugly duckling out of the water. That's all I'm going to say.
Honestly, Mama, I saw more for her, but it didn't take off like how we want to. But someone that did take off in life was actually take off. So take off for me. Stop. We're talking about death.
Why was that? You know.
So take off one of the members of the Migos, whose name is actually Kershnik Kari Ball, was tragically killed on November 1st, 2022. He was shot at a bowling.
Was taken out.
Yeah. He can't go outside, but he can go out about some bullets. But he was shot at the bowling alley called A10 Billards and Bowling in Houston. Apparently, Takeoff and Quavo were playing a dice game when an altercation happened, and someone just started lining things up. And Takeoff either got shot in the head or the neck. He was pronounced dead at the scene. He was the youngest member of the Migos. Quavo is his uncle, and Offset is his cousin. So a whole family affair. And wow, they're going outside. That was actually one of my favorite things about Takeoff. I loved his first on their song, Can't Go Outside. I can't go outside about it.
Takeoff never mad about
no bitch. Like, truly.
I can't sing the next line.
No.
A bitch do be depressed. Anyways. All the morbid and dark jokes aside, especially considering we also don't want to get lit up because Cardi B is more than shown that she does have Twitter fingers. Seriously,
all publicity is good publicity, man. We'll be fine.
I wouldn't go that far, but like seriously, respect to them because it is unfortunate that he did die, and it was a weird conversation because of the way it all transpired, but at least opened up.
Nobody knew anything initially, and then everyone was, for whatever reason, people glorified up. So everyone was circulating the video, and it was just so sad. Like
the fact that video was even on the internet, I'm still bothered to the. I didn't even watch the video, but the fact that I could see a clip of the video and understand what was happening, like just watching the thumbnail from Twitter of it being circulated, that was not cool.
People glorify this like far too much.
Speaking of a more modern event of the exact same thing or rather a bigger issue that happened there and still seems to pervade our society, I just watched today, unfortunately, on TikTok, a video of someone in Nepal recording a plane crashing.
I heard about that earlier, and people on my timeline were looking for the video, and I'm like, I
Why?
don't want to see people dying. I'm not a fan of actually seeing real life people dying. No, it happened with them. It happened with I think her name was Shaquilla. It happens whenever somebody dies. Like, no matter what, people, if there's a video to be found, people want to see it. People want to give it views. People want to give it attention, which kind of, in my opinion, desensitizes people more so to death than they already are. Like, oh.
No, because tell me about it. I don't know if you remember, there was also the Buffalo, New York shooting where the white guy went into a supermarket, live streaming on Twitch, and just decided to let the chopper sing on a whole bunch of different black people.
No, I remember that. I remember when, I don't remember, I think it was like a festival. The bigger young man died falling off of the mechanical ride. Like, and that was filmed, and people gave that a lot of clicks and views.
But while we're talking about clicks and views, someone who actively fell out of our public view, but never a heart that actually fell, unfortunately, was Aaron Carter. I don't know if you remember the child star. He sort of fell away from the public gaze as he got older. And as he got older, there were a lot more issues and whatnot going on. But a bit of positive news about his falling, because I don't want to dwell too long on the situation, was that apparently because of the kindness that she showed him, his housekeeper actually got to keep his estate, especially as the one who was able to... I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that was how it ended up falling out. I know it was a major discussion of whether or not she was going to get it around the time of his death.
Well, that is a bit of positivity. She got to inherit something.
On the opposite side of things, we got to step away from that, the happily positive note, into a darker conversation that's opened up recently at the loss of our dear Power Ranger, our king of Power Rangers, even, because he was multiple different Power Rangers, Jason David Frank. He unfortunately took his own life, and him along with Stephen Twitch, I forget his last name. They both opened up a conversation on social media around men's mental health, and I think it's an important conversation to have.
Right.
I'm not going to say talk to me about it, because I'm not saying I don't care. I will say I'm not help you find a therapist.
Yeah, I'm not willing to take on the issues myself, as we all have issues, but I can find someone who is.
But I can definitely say my heart goes out, and to all of our nerds, especially with this being Head Nerds in Charge, a moment of silence for Jason David Frank. Moving right along with the obits, the last person I wanted to mention, because there were a long list of fallen people in 2022, but an important Black mind, we lost a creative, Sidney Poitier. I won't dwell too long. If you know, you know, because it's going to require too much education for those of you who don't know. But for those of us in the pocket that actually care about him, rest in peace.
Right.
Now let's move on to something else.
Moving on to... Not the police. Oh, please. You need some uplifting. I know what you do when you're sad, but when I'm sad, I listen to music. And in 2022, we got a lot of music, a lot of singles.
Right.
Unfortunately, not a lot of albums. The girls did not want to give us albums for whatever reason, or the record label just wanted to hold it up. And one of the goals that I have in mind would be Chloe Bailey. I love Chloe so much. Chloe released a couple singles. Some of my favorites are Treat Me, which she actually got her first solo award from the 2022 MTV's.
As she should.
As she should. It's long overdue. Like, I like Chloe and Halle, but I'm glad Chloe went solo and did her own thing. And in a way, her sister did the same thing, because she's doing acting with Disney, which is a good thing.
Some of her she's in the studio too, though.
Ooh, I have to look into that. I didn't know that.
She got a few single. They're not necessarily like publicly released singles, but there were tracks that were just sort of leaked out that she had been working on.
Oh, okay.
One of the most popular songs that I enjoy from Halle is called Potion. That's the other one that I don't know the title of it, but she teased it on social media. I'm going to call it Get Out Your Feelings. And I was like, hold on, because our Aries Queen is talking her shit on this one.
Some other singles that Chloe had this year for me that I like were For the Night, Surprise, but like my favorite like Chloe thing wasn't actually one of her songs. It was the feature that she did on Hello by Fabio Foreign. Like I just like this like I love it. Yes, wait.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. It's crazy you brought up features because I was gonna say one of my favorite things from 2022, and I did a live reaction to it when Ari Lennox dropped ASL. Her feature on Leak It. I was foaming at the mouth. I had another friend on my Twitch stream with me. I went crazy for it. I still do. Baby ate down.
Truly. But someone else who also ate down, but we got, I believe, 8 albums, but didn't get much from her, is SZA. Like, I need a big boy. I don't want
SNL, nigga.
I was getting ready to get to that. I want that to be an actual song. Like, I know it's an SNL song, but I want it to be an actual song. SZA's one of the artists that I believe that can stay relevant without releasing music daily, and she's proven that. Also, at the 2022 Grammys, her and Doja took home a Grammy for Best Pop Duo Group Performance for their song Kiss Me More. Yeah.
If I remember correctly, didn't she hobble onto that stage, though? She said, I'm getting this award, broken foot and all.
I think so. Like, she actually, like I said, she released the album, so let me give her props. Her SOS album managed to get to Billboard's #1 album within all the holidays, within all the transgressions, which is actually pretty impressive. It's a 23-song set, and it was streamed 405 million times. She actually came in second to the most popular notated Taylor Swift when she released her album, because Taylor Swift got 549.26 million.
But there was a whole thing recently where SZA had to put out a notice and say that she wasn't beefing with Taylor Swift because she actually beat out Taylor's album and is now currently sitting at #1. Yeah. So proud of, and a major shout out to our girl SZA for not only dropping that album finally, because TNT, I was playing with her. I'm glad y'all got Doechii on the roster, but y'all playing games. We're gonna get into my girl later.
Oh my gosh. Go ahead.
Y'all playing games, and then the fact that y'all left that damn album. Why was that album 23 fucking tracks long?
Okay, but do you want either or not? She gave you a big song list. You got what to choose from. That should last you until the next album, if we get one.
That's not why I was complaining, though. I'm complaining because she didn't even want it to be 23 tracks long. But I forgot who.
Well, she wanted to do the 12 and 12, like Little Now.
No, not even 12 and 12. She didn't want to do all of those tracks, but her producer was going through there and was all like, I like all of these. We got to keep them on here, be it because of a transition or because of something that was done with the production. For whatever reason, all of the songs were kept on there. And I'm not saying, don't misunderstand me, I enjoyed SOS. But for it to be a body of work, I feel like we should have gotten a small set of them, and then we could have gotten the rest of the tracks on a deluxe edition. But if this is the opening one, then I have to wonder, A, is there a deluxe edition coming?
She can put Chris Brown and have 48 songs on it.
I swear to fucking God, she better not, please.
48, like 36, 40. I don't remember how many songs she had. It was too damn many. Too damn many for his deluxe.
I don't want it.
Right now, for the girls who are in love with her, though, that's the road trip. That's the cross-country road trip playlist over the state lines. Some of my favorite songs from the SOS album would be Sure, Nobody Gets Me, and then Kill Bill, which just got its music video finally.
I gotta say, maybe it's just because of who I am. I appreciate Low with all of my heart. If you see me out in public, you don't know me, keep it quiet. Yes, you don't. If you see me, no, you don't. Don't perceive me, don't talk to me.
Oh my gosh.
But someone we do need to talk to us. Normani, where's the album? Where's the music? Where is it?
You know RCA messing with her money, but a song that she released last year that I did enjoy was Fair.
Yes, it was nice seeing that softer side of her. And TikTok creator Henny on the Top did a great analysis and deep dive into the fact that a lot of what we expect from ballads and softer songs aren't really given to darker complected women. So like we got to eat down and enjoy Wild Side, but when Fair came, Fair didn't actually do well on the actual rollout, and it disappointed me a lot actually, because that was a really nice song, a well written song at that.
Where my girl picture at? You always she ain't got no image, she ain't got no love. You done forgot, baby.
I did not forget
Where is
her.
our dark skinned queen? She needs
She
to
right there, looking all nice and glistening and stuff. Oh my god, I was trying not to get distracted because look at her. I just
her. So yeah.
I'm almost done. No, shut up.
You know, Wild Side. I know. I'm doing it. Even though Wild Side wasn't released this year, someone did tap into their Wild Side this year.
Oh no! Oh
no! Don't start with me, bro.
Oh no!
And that was Adam Levine.
I fucking knew it.
For those of you who don't know, you gotta take them off. I'm gonna keep her from talking as much as possible. For those of you who don't know, this topic is very humorous to both me and Rosa. Rosa knows I am one of the biggest Maroon 5 fans ever. I love it, Maroon 5. Mentally,
you don't get to see her face. Just look at the man that she lusted over. Look at this man. Look at this man.
Face. Mentally kind of date Alan Levine, but Alan Levine did do his wife dirty last year by having not just one affair, but multiple affairs with different women.
There was Brenda, Letitia. Oh no, not Rihanna. Not Rihanna.
But no, he had affairs with Summer Stroh, 23-year-old girl. We all found out about that from TikTok. He had an affair with Allison Rose. Allison Rose, 29. We also find out about that from TikTok. And Markia was her screenshots were actually from Instagram. What he said to Marco while it's up was, as you can see, distract yourself by fucking with me. She claims that he sent a naked selfie, but there was no solid proof of that. She's 20 years old and she's a tattoo enthusiast and comedian. When Levine was questioned about this, he said, in quote, "I use poor judgment in speaking with anyone other than my wife in any," he put emphasis on any, kind of flirtatious manner. He also followed up with, "I didn't have an affair. Nevertheless, I crossed the line during a regrettable period of my life. In certain instances, it became inappropriate. I have addressed that and taken proactive steps to basically rectify the issue with this family." But I'm going to, once again, get into the other two women. Summer Stroh, like I said, she's 23. We found out about her on TikTok, and their affair was a year long. After she introduced, like, "Hey, I was a side piece with Adam Levine," she tried to kind of backtrack a little bit by saying, like, at the time I was young, I was naive. I don't remember her occupation. I don't care. She said I was very easily manipulated. And like I said, he made an inappropriate joke with her saying, "Oh, how would you feel if I named my baby boy Summer?" And a lot of people on TikTok took sympathy on her. They felt bad for her. I'm not one of those people. You're 23. You know what you're doing. Everyone knows Adam Levine is married. It's common sense at this point. Everybody knows that.
Like, it's not, I feel like even if you ain't no young and married, one, if you're a yoga instructor to a celebrity, you know what's going on in their lives. He's hitting that downward dog in you now. Ma'am.
Yes. But no, she was talking about how she was young, naive, didn't know better. You're 23. Not only are you over 18, but you're over 21. I don't feel bad for you. Don't. Next person that he messed with, or the last person on the list, was Allison Rose. She's 29. They had something for a couple months. She said on September 19th, in one text that Levine sent her was that, "I shouldn't be talking to you. You know that, right?" With a little smirky smirk, like, I shouldn't be doing this, but keep your mouth shut. 3 women are better than me because I would have kept my mouth shut. But neither here nor there.
Ma'am,
That
ma'am.
was what?
We're not finna glaze past that. Excuse me.
So I said what I said. That's his commitment, not mine. But that's an episode for another day.
So why you don't slide his DMs?
Everything wrong with morals. That'll be an episode for another day. Because I never said I had any at the beginning of this episode. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think he liked black people, black women. I don't know.
But he do apparently like trying to save his marriage. But that's gonna lead me to
He
another
likes
question.
he likes skinny and white and young. I'm only one of those things. I'm young. What, bro? He do 23, 29, and 20.
29 is not young. I mean, younger than him, I guess.
You better stop. You better still. The girls are gonna cuss you out. You better leave them alone.
I'm not saying this to say.
If it ain't young, what is it?
It's an averaged age. Like young, if we're saying young, in my mind, when you're saying I was young, I was naive, I'm thinking 18, 19, 20. Like you said, under 21, maybe 21, and we'll give you that grace period because I remember the drinking I did when I turned 21. That's the only grace I'm gonna give you. I remember the year, but I was also drunk to most of the places I went to. I was functionally drunk for my entire 21st year of life.
My thing is,
I'm still going because I'm forever 21.
I get outing somebody when they do something wrong, and I'm not saying this because it's Adam Levine. I'm saying it in general. I get outing somebody when they do something wrong, but if your time span is like Allison's a year, or like I'm gonna her name because she's irrelevant. Oh, girl, for a couple months.
Oh, no, it's the way around. Sumner was a year.
Yeah, Summer that Allison was a couple months. After a certain period of time, you're the lame as well. You ain't shut it down immediately. You waited a couple months. You're just as guilty as they are. You waited a whole year till I guess the hush money ran dry. You most definitely just as guilty because you know
I don't know if it was hush money or was the dick that good. I gotta ask. I don't want to sample, but I gotta ask.
I'm praying for you tonight. Whatever. Like I said, I don't feel bad for any of the participants in that whole situation because, like I said, all jokes aside, you knew better. You knew what you were doing. You know his status. You know what he's about. You know him to a certain degree. Because, at least for one of them, you work with him. So.
Right. Yeah. And I suppose in good news to people who believe in the sanctity of family and marriage and all of that bullshit, his wife says that they're doing better than ever. She's pregnant and she showed off a whole baby bump because for some reason, like I said earlier, after niggas cheat, they love to go and put a baby wife. Offset. Oops, I'm sorry. We got done with the Migos already.
Stop. You talking about Cardi? Here you go. You throw a direct shot. I'm
not throwing shots at her. I'm throwing shots at him. But like, also, you can't tell me that she wasn't done dirty.
She was, but she stuck beside him. She stuck beside him. She chose to stick beside him. Baby mama, wife, now is sticking beside him. Those are choices. We all have a choice.
Speaking of choices,
get to her because I'm upset. I didn't
like it. Don't you do it? Don't you do it?
No, go ahead because I ain't like it. I ain't like the damn song. I don't care.
Speaking of choices,
could have died with him.
Please,
wake me up, put me to sleep, and yes, we're talking about Rihanna.
It was lift me up.
Okay. It brought me down the fuck. So
our girl Rihanna came out of retirement and gave us a new song for the Black Panther 2 soundtrack. The lovely song was written by Thames and it was entitled Lift Me Up. Ideally, it was not my favorite ballad. She's good for a ballad, but I hate to say it. Thames should have sang it, especially considering this was the year of Thames, because gorgeous queen. But
it wasn't for me.
At least we got her out of retirement. There's speculation that she's going to be giving us new music for the Super Bowl because she's supposed to be one of the headliners.
Most definitely.
I'm not even into sports, but I will be watching.
That is something I can look forward to, though. She wasn't the only girl that gave us music.
No, we got music from two girls, and in getting that music, we also got a whole bunch of controversy, one after the other, and also for some reason, one claimed that another one did it for another reason, but that's just because the internet is stupid, especially considering Lizzo's album came first, but we got albums from both Lizzo and Beyonce over the summer, no less. The summer was eaten down with the music. We got a lot of controversy around and the knowledge of the problem with the word spaz. And I will say the word in terms of just illuminating because it's considered a slur within the disabled community. Technically, but like not because
I'm gonna give the definition and let the people think of what they want. Spaz is two definitions. One, the first one I'll give you is to be used as a noun, which is an incompetent or uncoordinated person. The second will be a verb, which is to lose physical or emotional control, which is what Lizzo was referencing in her song, I believe, with the context she used it in.
Right. However, a lot of the controversy, again, came from a lot of people in the UK who were looking for a reason to also be fatphobic because there was a litany of fatphobic remarks that circled it. And so they sort of dragged her name through the mud, yet despite the fact that as soon as it was brought up as a controversy, she, within, I think it was 1 or 2 days, released edited version where she removed the word entirely. She just went in, re-recorded that line and said, my bad, we did this. I don't want to hurt nobody. I understand more than anybody as a marginalized fat black woman in this world. I would never want to hurt people. She put out a very beautiful statement.
I don't think they really had an issue with the word. I think they just wanted a reason to not like Lizzo, like how people do in America. Like, and yeah, this is about to be set. What I'm about to say is about to come out real poorly. But they're like, oh, you talk about how I lose control. I'm gonna talk about how you can't lose weight. Like, it was a tit for tat type beat, which is childish, honestly.
Absolutely. And then immediately afterwards, some people like myself, not because I wanted to actually see Beyonce get dragged or canceled, but when Renaissance dropped, the world went crazy because we had been waiting on music from Beyonce that didn't have that man in it. But also, he didn't went crazy. I love the song, yada 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 boom boom ka ka. But nobody was looking for, checking for, even remotely said anything to her, or circling back to Doechii, who was another title who was absolutely eating down this year, because this was absolutely the year of Doechii. She did a feature on What You Said by Isaiah Rashad, and she also made reference to the word, and this was prior to the release of Renaissance and Special, or specifically Girls by Lizzo. But the fact remains, these words were there, and
nobody cared. Nobody really cared about it until Lizzo did it. People look for a reason to hate Lizzo, and Lizzo did have a rough year of like 2022 and like all that.
She also had a great year too, because Yiddy is out here performing well. I'm trying to get me some Yiddy. Lizzo, if you're watching this, I doubt you are, but on the slim chance that HNIC has caught your radar, absolutely check out the rest of the shows on this network. But slide me some Yiddy. My DMs are always open, especially for you. Especially for you, baby.
How many tags have you done with Doechii? I'm gonna get to my Doechii, and that's on my Flo Milli shit. Put my girl
shit, bitch. Period. I actually went to see her in concert. I did.
I was but I couldn't tell.
But I look great.
What's your favorite song by Flo Milli?
It's hard to say. We gotta always go to the classic, because without it, we wouldn't even know who she is. And I don't know how they play it. It's great to watch her have grown and even flourish in her craft. But Flo Milli mix is always gonna eat down. Like, what better opening line for introducing song do you know than I like cash in my hair to my ass? That one's always gonna be great. I think because I tend to be a relatively aggressive individual, I really, really enjoy Bedtime from her most recent project. Oh, why is it still here?
It's sad to me because nobody knows the classic. Everyone just knows Conceited, according to TikTok, and then the other song she had a collab with Mona Leo.
She did. Put that dick up, we not humping. Yeah, that one. We don't have the rights to it, so we're not going to play it. But
we know the lyrics.
We know all the words. We do. I've got to say, it was a joy, absolutely, and I'm glad she did. She didn't feature every single song like full out, but she at least tried to give us snippets of during the concert. She featured Big Steppa. I'm so yes, like I just love hearing Flo Milli talk her shit because it's not to say that she don't deserve it, but like again. We got these dark-skinned queens in the game stepping out going crazy. And it's not just to say that it's dark-skinned queens in the game going crazy because Rico Nasty, Miss Rico, it's always gonna give you something amazing. Because she gave us music this year, but I still have to say my favorite thing thus far, because I mean not this year, last year, excuse me. Words.
No, we manifested it. She giving us music this year. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
She did this year.
She's giving us music this year. She's constantly giving us looks on TikTok, and she's constantly performing. So it better be more music this year. Rico, give us music.
I'm waiting on TikTok, even though I don't manifest this, but with TikTok culture, it's inevitable. I'm waiting on TikTok to be like, oh my gosh, Rico's rocking Aaliyah core. I'm waiting on it. While Aaliyah core, for those who don't know, is, well, coming from Aaliyah, it was a popular dark-skinned girl on TikTok who wears and does alternative fashion of her own. That's how she got her own brand, Aaliyah Core. She did that. She doing that. But unfortunately, if you're odd and film presenting on TikTok, they classify everything as Aaliyah Core when it's not the case. Aaliyah Core is different. Like I said, I'm giving Aaliyah her you gotta have a little fur and a little something else for it to be Aaliyah Core.
You gotta have the fur. It's gotta be the boots. And above all that, it's always gotta have his fishnets, if I remember correctly. I'm not a
she made a video like addressing it, like, guys, this is not Aaliyah Core. Aaliyah Core got this, and this. Like,
I feel like one of these days you need to dress up in Aaliyah Core and just show up. Be like, this is how you do it, bitch.
Truly.
I was just watching it. Shout out to another TikTok creator. Her name is Mecca Veli, I think, on TikTok. She was like, the world is going to hate her into the right spaces and in front of the right people, and she's going to really pop off because baby girl got something going for her, and I 110% agree with that. There is no reason why anyone should be hating on her, but they are, and she got dragged on Twitter for just being a fashion icon. These are not meant to be wearable looks. These are meant to be fashion moments. And if you had Bella Hadid, if Chloe Bailey, as awkward as the world was always dragging her about it, if she had put it on, they'd gone, this is a little strange, but they would have just been eating it up. So why is it a problem when she was doing it? It's not a problem. Y'all gonna shut the fuck up. Y'all gonna take it and y'all gonna choke on it if you don't like it.
And one thing that, speaking of choking on it, everything that people was choking on was this trial. I just Amber Heard, Johnny Depp trial. It had the internet and, well, the world by storm when these two went at it. We want to put this disclaimer out there that we don't support neither. They're both shitty people in reality, but 2022, we got to talk about it. It's
like, it's important. It's important to absolutely believe women and hear them out when they're talking. However, also in this particular instance, it looks like both of them were wrong. And I'm not saying that in any capacity any of this should have transpired on who did who to what. I'm just saying I'm not getting in it because it's one thing to be receiving justice. Is a whole other thing to just be out here beefing with somebody publicly, no less. But speaking of beefs that did transpire,
bro, that wasn't the only beef we got this year. That's exactly how I feel whenever we have our interactions, Rosa. But someone who's beefing hard, especially if you're on TikTok, was Elmo versus Rocco. Zoe, he's a rock. He's a rock. And I have to do that because we ain't got that Sesame Street bill money.
No.
Elmo, basically, for those who don't know, Elmo hates Rocco. Rocco,
he went on a press tour, bro. He went on a fucking press tour.
And Zoe loves Rocco because for her, it's her imaginary friend, and for him, it's a rock. The feud is based on relatable emotions being modeled in the scene. The relatability, like, could more so be just any disagreement that we have. Like, hey, you can see things one way, I see it another. Just like me and Rosa are probably going to be continue arguing about Adam Levine and after this episode is up.
First of all, you lucky that image cleared because that man aged like milk. That is not a proper representation of who the fuck that man is, and you know
it. I'm glad. And I was even more glad when I got to hear him and Megan Beautiful Mistakes.
The spirit of Tamara is in the room. In her room, not mine. Not mine. We good over here.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Look, I can handle, you know what? If I had to battle it, I can handle a little infidelity. What I can't handle is 32 million fucking kids like Nick Cannon has. Nick Cannon, welcome baby number 12. Nick Cannon.
Hold on. Caveat. There's only 11 on this planet, though. Rest in peace to that baby, because I think that baby also passed in 2022. I should have mentioned it during the obits, but I guess it would have been great that we waited.
Yeah. He officially has enough kids for his professional soccer team. Professional soccer team has 11 players. He has 11 kids. And I'm going to go through naming all these kids and their birthdays because the overlapping is crazy. We have Moroccan Scott. Some of these names piss me off too, which you're going to visibly see. We have Moroccan Scott Cannon and Monroe Scott Cannon. They're
twins. Yep.
They were born April 30th, 2011.
Mm-hmm. That's a Taurus, I think. Yeah, they're Taurus.
Yes, that's a Taurus. That's one of us. Let me. Next on the list, we have Golden Cannon. This is not one of the worst names, but I guess it's been the babies in his golden era. He looks like a little bit lighter than how I look over here right now.
I think that was just barely a Pisces.
Yeah, born February 21st, 2017. And then we get to my first name that pisses me off. Powerful Queen Cannon. I don't know if he was in his motivational era with this, but if I be like, hey, I'm Draxx, what's your name? Powerful.
You can't tell me that don't eat down for a Capricorn's name, though. You can't tell me that don't eat down.
Yeah, Mama's is a Capricorn. She was born December 23rd, 2020.
She gonna show up to all of the meetings as a nepotism baby. My name is Powerful. Don't forget it, bitch.
But don't let her try to have a job. She can't be a boxer. She cannot be a rapper. They will eat her alive. How your name Powerful, but you can't fight? Don't fit. How your name Powerful, but the bars weak?
Maybe Remy Ma gonna take her under her arm because then she gonna be able to do both.
Stop it. We're not getting into that one. So next on the docket
is the need for abortion.
Stop.
Because why the hell you got so many kids? I need you to know. Maybe not Draxx, but I am. I am not pro-choice. I am pro-abortion. Get rid of them kids. We have crossed 8 billion people. And I'm not saying, because I don't want anyone to misconstrue my words. I 110% believe everyone should have the choice to have children. I just feel like no one should make that choice. Stop it.
Speaking of choices, he did have a choice. Another set of tens. We got Zillion Eric Cannon and Zion Eric Cannon, born June 14th, 2021. And then we do have to get into, like I said, the late Zen. He was born June 23rd, 2021, only like less than 10 days later.
Wait, but hold on. Wasn't that a second set of twins?
Yeah, and I'm about to get into those. No, those were the Zillion and Zion were the second set because Moroccan and Monroe was the first set. Yeah. And then we have Legendary Love Cannon, July 26, 2022. Onyx Ice Cold Cannon. My favorite.
Shut up. No, that name pissed me off. Powerful might have got you, but Onyx Ice, bro.
No, we're not done yet. We got Rise Messiah Cannon, born only a few days later, September 23rd, 2022. Beautiful Zeppelin Cannon, 11/11/2022. And then the more recent baby will be Hala Marie Cannon, born December 14th, 2022. And that's a lot of babies. I don't like none of them names. But while the internet has taken by storm talking about Nick Cannon and his 50 million 11 children, he ain't the first to do it. We do got some other people who got a lot of kids, like Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy has 10 kids. Future has 10 kids. DMX has
what you really want from a nigga?
apparently that nut. Like,
wait, no.
It was that 15 babies? 15?
Get me out of here.
Oh.
Get me out of here.
No.
I'm calling the authorities.
Bob Marley had 11. Muhammad Ali had 9. Hang on me. Genuine had 8. Mike Tyson had 8. And George Foreman had 12.
For those of you who don't know who George Foreman is, he's the one with your auntie's grill. You remember when you were a little kid and she kept talking about that little grill on the counter that made them fancy lines? That was George Foreman. Yeah. He's also a boxer, but you know.
And while Rosa over here want to cancel people for like having kids, the Supreme Court, they don't agree. Something else that happened in 2022 with Roe versus Wade being overturned, making the right for abortion not okay. This
thing should not exist.
And it was a big deal, besides the obvious reason, but a bigger deal because this decision dismantled 50 years of legal protection and paved the way for individual states to curtail or outright ban abortions. It's yeah.
It's a lot, but at least they did one thing right. They put a black queen in the house.
Yeah.
We got a black queen on
Ketanji Brown Jackson was sworn into the 116th Supreme Court Justice, and she was the first black woman to serve on a high court.
Now we just gotta get rid of Clarence.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
He's a slap in the face of all things important with the world. But speaking of slaps, because we got to start rapid firing real quick. We're going to wrap up. The slap heard around the world. There was Will Smith and Chris Rock. I feel like Will Smith was not wrong, but like also...
Jada got a lot of heat for that. Even though Will did it, Jada got a lot of heat for that. After the whole untouchable triangle situation that happened. Yeah, look, triangle. We gonna triangle like thing that happened. Jada just was catching hell for it, but so many people felt so opinionated and was traumatized by a little slap.
That wasn't a triangle. That was an entanglement. They was tangled. They was tangled.
They was tangled, and they weren't the only ones tangled up in some drama. Just like Netflix was when they decided to release the Jeffrey Dahmer documentary.
This is the 5th one that they've produced since the entirety of this trial. None of them have been approved by the family, and all of them have still not only were they not approved by the family, they didn't grease the family's palms. They didn't say my condolences. They didn't try and take none of the family's accounts. Nothing.
It was number 5. Like, people as a whole, like I said, being desensitized to death, especially at the form of a Negro, or at the base of a Negro, made it one of Netflix's top performing film of 2022.
Speaking of making a whole bunch of money, Bad Baby cleared out with $52 million off of her OnlyFans career, and then proceeded to, after making all that money, put out a public statement saying that she feels like all the people who went and watched her OnlyFans after she made said career should be arrested. Now,
yeah, get to the bag and bring you to the prison. Yeah,
I'm not saying she wrong. They should definitely be arrested because she was newly 18, which means they had to have been plotting on her since she was a child. But like also, baby girl, you made $52 million off them people. Let me hold $1.
I need some money.
Exactly, but someone who does not know how to manage their money well. Elon Musk has had an interesting year. He acquired Twitter, and in acquiring Twitter has managed
to anyway like that. So
he has managed to irreversibly do a whole bunch of damage to this app. This app is not the same it is, but I'm holding on. I'm one of the few believers. I got my safety net. It's everywhere, but
about to say. You can be in Twitter. You finna be on Twitter, but I'm finna be in the pit. One thing we have to wrap up in 2022 was everybody misusing AAVE. which is a problem in itself. Like, I can name so many like different misuses. This is exactly what y'all sound like. This is exactly what y'all sound like when you guys misuse
I'm neither dead nor the ass. That is, baby, no. Leave it.
No, so everything
black
that
people.
pisses me off is when white people use hits different out of context. Like, I remember the new Takis commercial where the mom was just using mid and bussin', and I was ready to be done. I was ready to wrap it up.
Circling back to Flo Milli, even she was given the privilege to be a part of a Beats by Apple now, I think it is, a commercial, and they decided to, and also it posed a whole bunch of conversation. They decided to try and dip into AVE while using her song, what song was it? May I? They said, flex that clapback. Who the fuck, when the fuck ever? How does one flex that clapback? Draxx, please educate me.
I don't know, man. I think one of the biggest things I hate is when, and the white gays are notorious for doing this, when it can be the simplest thing, and everyone will do yes and slay, but they won't do the yes, queen, you're killing it, blah blah blah. They put on the most valley girl accent and be like, yes,
mama, work the house down, boots, period, queen.
You're eating you eat it up. You done eat the girls up, and that's on period, sis.
While we're talking about Twitter has magically done great things because Greta Thunberg, Miss Queen, collected not one, ate up the new owner of Twitter back in the day, but proceeded to also get Andrew fucking Tate packed up because his stupid ass decided to start beefing with her on Twitter. End up giving away his location in Romania and got packed up on those sex trafficking charges. I don't feel sorry for that man, or do I feel sorry for Tory Lanez for going to jail? Am I
girl got the justice she deserves, Megan.
Period. Am I against the entire incarceration system? Yes. Am I also turning a blind eye to them going to jail? Also yes. But I have to ask, with all of this information in mind, what are your thoughts on the 2022 Encore? Would you do it again?
I don't want to go big. It's too much.
Was it that? I mean, it wasn't that bad. We got a lot of good moments too.
We got good moments, but it's mainly bad. I don't want to have to think about my girl Betty going out like that. I don't want to have to think about my girl Betty again. No, I'm good. I'm good on all of that.
You right. I don't want to go back.
I say you talk about me. Do you want to go back? Oh, okay. Like I thought.
Now you got it.
But like I said, guys, thank you for tuning in to our very first episode of Everything Wrong with your host. Once again, I am Draxx and Roza, your favorite tall fan, your favorite Funko fanatic, anime nerd, Draxx Destroyer, all of that.
She's a lot of things, and I am, in case you didn't get it the first time, Tapa Rosa, aka La Rosa Negra, or Black Rose if you're nasty. Make sure to tag us and use the tag hashtag The Complicated Duo to keep this conversation going online, and let us know your thoughts on 2022. And we'll definitely make sure to see you on the next one.
See you guys on the flip side. Bye.
Yeah.